Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to this episode, which is kind of like a bonus episode about the series that we already made, What Ireland Sounds Like. So as I was reading your comments, I came across two songs that it was very interesting and I thought I would give it a chance and listen to it together. So today's episode was actually suggested by Irish 780, so thank you for suggesting this song. And then when I went and checked it out, I was like, it really fits the theme that we're doing about like how the music reflecting the history of Ireland, especially in the 20th century, which was not very calm and there was a lot of turmoil, especially with the troubles that we talked about in the zombie episode. So if you haven't checked that one out, please go ahead and do so. I'll put a link here. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start with this one. So Paul McCartney, as you guys know it, he was part of the Beatles, but this song was actually written post-Beatles when he had his own band called The Wings. This song was released on February 5th, 1972, which was only a few days or a few weeks after the Bloody Sunday that happened in Northern Ireland. On January 30th, 1972, in Derry, Northern Ireland, there was a peaceful civil rights march that was held against British policy of internment. If I'm saying it right, that was the imprisonment without the trial of the people who were suspected to be Irish nationalists. But the British soldiers opened fire on the unarmed protesters and about 13 or 14 people were killed, so many of them were teenagers. That incident called Bloody Sunday, that was a turning point in the troubles that we talked about. It sparked global outrage there, especially in Republic of Ireland and among the Irish communities outside of Ireland as well, including England and the US. Paul McCartney was born and raised in Liverpool, a city with a massive Irish diaspora. After Bloody Sunday, he was very shocked and he was furious. He immediately started writing this song and it was released less than a month after Bloody Sunday. That's how immediate and emotional and raw the reaction was, and I think that makes it very like different and distinctive from any other song. This was Paul McCartney's first political song. Let's go listen to it a little bit and we'll talk more. So what really got me from this song was the lyrics, coming from a person who is British, but really grasping the whole idea and kind of like being able to react that fast and write this song that is beautiful, but also very meaningful. And then as I read, this song was immediately banned in BBC and in Radio Luxembourg and a lot of UK major radio station, which makes sense because they called it as like too political and very politically sensitive, so obviously they didn't want to play it, but even with all that, it was a hit in Ireland and it reached #1 and charted in the UK and the US. Tell me, how would you like it if on your way to work you got stopped by Irish soldiers? Hey, would you lie down, do nothing? Would you give it up completely? So again, back to the lyrics, this part that he's saying, if it was you and you were stopped by Irish soldiers, I think again it's the way that is very, very direct and straightforward. That's what's very like interesting, and also like makes it more meaningful. He's not trying to be poetic, it's very straightforward. That is talking about you're tremendous, like referring to Great Britain, and but really, what are you doing in a land across the sea? I think that the way that he is basically putting the opponent or the opposite side and trying to make them think as if it was you, it's a very like it's a very powerful technique in protest or in protest songs in general, that think if the situation was totally like flipped and backwards and you were in those people's shoes, how would you react? And I think that's again very like very straightforward and direct. And I think one other thing that I really liked about, I know this performance in particular is a rehearsal from 1972, but the whole song I listened to a couple other performances. It feels very like improvised. It has a very improvisation feeling to it, and I think it really helps being like I know he wrote it right after the incident, but I think the whole thing being kind of like rushed, not in a bad way, helps with like the immediacy of it. That is like it feels like, oh, I didn't plan for a long time to write this song, and it's really showing. A lot of like some critics at the time, it felt it's too heavy-handed or too simplistic compared like talking about the lyrics, but I feel like having that like being so fast in reacting really reflects in the lyrics, and I feel like that makes it actually a positive point rather than a negative. But a lot of people also praised him for using his platform to kind of speak out and bring awareness. And I think one more thing about the chorus, like "Give Ireland Back to the Irish," I think it repeats so many times, but the way they do it, it feels also like a chant. So it's again, it's kind of like it adds all in all. I think I don't know if it was planned or not, but all in all, they all like every each of these elements, they complement each other, I feel like, and they just bring this whole song together. Yeah, it was very interesting. I mean, I just came across this song because you guys commented about it, but then I realized it's a very significant song in the whole series that we're talking about. And I think that's something also important that this song was pioneering. It talked about like the British colonialism that was rarely sang, and like if you look at the pop music from that era, not a lot of the pop music stars were like singing or talking about that. So I think that's also like something that he just stepped forward and did that, and that's what also it's very important to mention. And he later said he never like regretted releasing this song. This one, it was not trying to make a war or anything. It was just bringing awareness and basically bringing attention to this injustice and unfairness that is going on. And I think again back to the idea of like the zombies and with the cranberries that we talked about, it's not just like, it's not siding necessarily with anything, it's just basically like looking at the bigger picture, that what's going on, and then bringing attention to it. And I think that's the power of music. Like otherwise, if it was not for this song necessarily, me personally, I would not gone and searched about what's going on. I know that if you are like into history, or if you're from Ireland or Britain, might know this, but music helps like preserve things that it might have been forgotten, at least for a lot of other people. So I'm just talking about my case. I might not know like with these details about what's been going on in the 20th century. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please don't forget to leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and like this video. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.